already,
So yes, Pragya ji.
Hello everyone, Jai Jinendra. Time is fleet. It was only yesterday when we had started this 1 month online Prakrit program. And lo and behold, we have reached the end of it. For that, I congratulate each and every one of you. To begin this valedictory program, I should acknowledge the august presence of today's chairperson, Dr. Abhay Firodia, Chief Guest, Professor Pramod Kumar Pandey, Guest of Honor, Dr. Jaswant Modi, and our own Dr. Shuganchan Jain. I also welcome our faculty members and dignitaries from India and different parts of the world. And I welcome you all to your own valedictory program. To begin with, let us start with Mangalacharan. Let me share my screen for that. Kindly join your hands. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ariyanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam. Dhammo Mangal Mukhitham Ahimsa Sanjamo Tavo Devavitam Naman Santi Jas Dhamme Sayamano Siddh Manant Manindiya Manuvam Mapath Sokh Manavajam Keval Mapohaditya Dunnayati Miram Jinam Namaha. Now, let us start with the first thing first, the welcome speech and some introduction about the program and the information of the program. I would like to welcome Dr. Srinetra Pandey, Joint Director and Program Director of this program. Dr. Pandey.
Namaskar, Pranam, Jai Jinendra to all of you. I welcome you all to the valedictory session of this 1 month online course on fundamentals of Prakrit languages. I welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Jaswant Modi ji. Friends, Dr. Modi ji, born in Godhra of Gujarat in India and earned his medical degree in 1973 and migrated to United States in 1975, established a successful medical practice there and ran several health centers in Los Angeles. Now, retired, he has an active philanthropist and his charitable giving in concentrated on introducing Jainism and Prakrit language to students and faculty members at universities globally. I would like to say that he had sponsored our 2 winter schools at Ahmedabad in 2018 and 2019. He is also sponsoring our 9-month Bhagwan Mahavir Prakrit Fellowship program for last 3 years, and he has promised us to sponsor this program again for 2023 to 2024. Sir, behalf of myself, behalf of International School for Jain Studies, I welcome you to this valedictory session. I would like to welcome our chief guest, Professor Pramod Kumar Pandeji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Deccan College Postgraduate and Research Institute, to be deemed University, Pune, and Professor of Linguistics at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Professor Pandey has written a lot on phonologies of Indian languages. Sir, I welcome you to this session. I would like to welcome the chairperson of this session. I think who will join soon, Dr. Abhay Firodia, a famous industrialist and philanthropist of India. Dr. Firodia is the chairman of Force Motors Limited and Jai Hind Industries. He is also the chairman of many academic and social organizations like Amar Prera Trust, Sri Firodia Trust, Sanmati Tirth Research Institute, Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, Maharashtra Education Society, Moolchand Bora Trust, and many others. And ISGS, International School for Jain Studies, is a division of Amar Prera Trust. Under this trust, under this umbrella, we have a very beautiful retreat and training center, Naval Virayatan, at Sayadri Hill near Pune. Another important project which is going on in this umbrella is a museum based on Jain philosophy, culture, and history, which will be opened for the visitors soon. So we are fortunate to have such visionary person with us. So I welcome him to this valedictory session. I would like to welcome our president, Dr. Suganchan Jain ji. Dr. Jain is the founder of International School for Jain Studies, and since its inception in 2005, he was the chairman, and now he is the president of this institute. So on behalf of myself, on behalf of ISGS, I welcome you to this valedictory session. Yeah, some other dignitaries with us. I would like to welcome Professor Dinanath Sharma from Gujarat University. He is a renowned scholar of Prakrit, Brahms and Sanskrit languages. Professor Rajshri Mohadikar, former professor of Prakrit at Pune University. Professor Jeffrey Dillon is one of the participants of this program. Sir, I welcome you. I would like to welcome Miss Trisha Jha and Anthony Ruda, who are the faculty members of this program. As I told in the inaugural session that they both studied Prakrit with us for 9 months last year. I would like to welcome our participants from the different part of the globe who are with us for 1 month. Before I hand over the proceeding of this program, I would like to give a brief about the course. During this 1 month course, total 20 lectures were delivered. The lectures were based on the Siddh Hem Sabdanushasan of Acharya Hemchandra, Prakrit Prakash of Varuchi, Prakrit Sarvaswa of Markande, Siddh Hem Dhundika of Uday Saubhagya Gadi ji. And to make the learning better, the methodology which we adopted, what we did, we prepared PowerPoints. The lectures were prepared for only 45 minutes. So remaining 50 minutes was reserved especially for discussion and interaction with the participants. We have provided the important emails for the questions and queries if they had. We provided the recordings of the lectures daily so that after the lectures, the participants can revise the subject matter. And for practice, we gave daily assignments. We conducted weekly tests and a final exam as well. So we adopted this methodology to make the understanding better. Dr. Ashok Kumar Singh is the key faculty of this program, who is here with us as Senior Research Fellow at ISJS. He is an expert of Prakrit, Sanskrit and Abran's language. And under his guidance, our research associate, Ms. Pragya Jain, Ms. Trisha Jha, and Anthony Ruda, these three scholars also delivered many lectures. As I have already shared through emails, total number of the participants are 34. So 34 participants from India, United States, Ukraine, Sri Lanka, China, and Germany. During this program, the subject matter which was delivered for starting for 4 days: language families and Prakrit, origin and development of Prakrit, features of Prakrit and its main dialect. These 3 topics were delivered as introductory topics, and then vowel, consonant as alphabet, phonological changes, so changes of vowel sounds, consonant and conjuncts, then morphology, so declension and conjugation, numerals and particles. And in yesterday's lecture, Dr. Ms. Pragya was delivered a very nice talk on variations in Prakrit dialects. So this is the subject matter which was delivered during the course. Friends, I would like to inform about our upcoming programs. So, as I have discussed many times during the course, from December 28th, we are going to conduct a 10-day winter program, online winter program. Details are available at our website, so interested persons can visit and apply. Very soon, we are going to announce our 9 months Bhagwan Mahavir Prakrit Fellowship Program. So we will inform through our newsletters. We are preparing a module for a course on fundamentals of Abran's language. And as I have promised during the course that we are going to announce a 3-month program on Prakrit language. So today I would like to announce the exact date. So this program will start on March 3rd. So from March 3rd to June 2nd, we will conduct this 3-month program. Classes will be held on only Fridays and Saturdays. So we have your valuable feedback with us, and we will go through your feedback, and I promise that we will work on that and we'll try our best to make this course more better. So once again, I welcome you all to this valedictory session of 1 month online course on fundamentals of Prakrit language. Thank you. Over to you, Pragya.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pandey, for telling us everything about the program and announcing the next programs. Now, without much ado, let's hear from the participants. How did they feel about the program? Let me tell you that you have not much time. You have only 2 minutes, but in those 2 minutes, we want to know every valuable thing. And I'll begin with Ipshita Bose. Ipshita, are you here with us?
Yes, I am here.
Yes.
I actually loved the program and thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm very glad that I have learned fundamentals of Prakrit and I am started talking in Prakrit too, the
Wow.
pronunciations and everything. I really enjoyed. Have always wished to learn Prakrit and Pali from anywhere, but I got the chance and it has been very wonderful experience for me to learn Prakrit with you. And I seriously want to join in future online programs, which I have already said on the 3 months online course, I will be there. And if the Prabhangsa course is online, I will wish to join that too in future.
Thank you so much. You are a part of ISJ's Prakrit programs now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I would like to move to Dhruti Rathi. Dhruti ji, can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you, Pragya, for giving me the opportunity to share my views on the 1-month-long online course of Fundamentals of Prakrit. Sorry, just give me a moment. My name is Dhruti Rathi and I'm based in Princeton, New Jersey. I got to know of ISJS when I was invited to present a paper at the International Symposium on the Dating of Mahavir Nirvan in July 2020. So I got to know of this program through Dr. Pandey, that this is happening. I enrolled in the program because of my interest in Jain history and Jain Agams and wanting to have a first-hand understanding of the original text as well as its commentaries. So let me share some of my experience of the course. Dr. Ashok Singh led us in a very insightful journey into the world of Prakrit language, from its historical background, varieties of dialect, differentiation among the various Prakrit languages such as Maharashtri, Paisachi, Saurasani, to name a few, to learning the minute nuances of Prakrit language as compared to Sanskrit. All these made me feel as though I have learned multiple languages and not just one. So thank you, Dr. Singh, for the wonderful linguistic journey. I also enjoyed very much Dr. Pragya's highly detailed lectures with several examples to practice. Dr. Trisha, who made the complex intervocal concept very easy to understand, and Anthony for his comprehensive session on cardinals. What I also appreciated much were the daily workshops for practice, lecture videos, and a highly accessible team and knowledgeable faculty, and Dr. Pandey, who provided countless clarifications. The breadth and depth of the course has given me tools to further my research, and I plan to continue to dive deep into the world of Prakrit languages. The daily sessions are very meaningful with the diverse perspective of participants from different areas within and outside India. And I think a lot of us felt that, oh, Prakrit, Maharashtrian Prakrit resembles to our local language. I certainly felt that because I'm a native from Gujarat and I saw the connection from Gujarati language to Prakrit language. So I thank ISGS, Dr. Shugan Jain, Sulek Jain, Dr. Ashok Singh, Dr. Pandey, and last but not the least, Dr. Justin Modi for making knowledge of Prakrit languages easily accessible to us via online program in English. And I am definitely a part of the Prakrit family at ISGS. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Rathi. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to listen about it from Mr. Divakar Singh.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful opportunity to join this course. I really thank organizers and all very competent teachers who taught us and took us to terrain of, the complex terrain of Prakrit language. What I felt that, Prakrit is somehow, it's been integral part of our everyday history, because when I compare and contextualize the words which we use every day, it has all bearing or it has all sort of resemblance with Prakrit. So what we speak is completely still, I mean, I can identify the words which we speak in Maithili. Particularly, I come from the area which is Mithila, modern day North Bihar. So that was sort of very wonderful experience. What I felt that it could have been, much better had it had been kind of very, physical classroom exercise, though interaction level was great. And I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Divankar. We also love to have such intelligible participants with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I would request Mr. Yifan to share his thoughts.
Thank you so much, DDG. Yes, thank you so much for everything, Sir G, Professor G, Guru G, elders, colleagues, so on and so forth. So it is actually a totally new journey for me. As you know, I'm also on my way of learning Hindi. So even my Hindi foundation is not unstable, and I'm taking the Prakrit course, but it is stimulation for the learning process as well. So I need to give myself certain challenges and to dig out that the potentialities. So along the way for the past 4 months, I've really learned a lot. Sometimes after a course, I found myself didn't understand of certain things, but the assignment from the daily basis helped me to understand bit by bit from the first day to the last day. Also, I'm very grateful for the video recordings. Those video recordings also deepened my understandings when I went back to watch for the second time. And all in all, thank you so much for made this course available for me as well. Despite of the difficulties for the past three years, from now on, I shall work harder. I shall have more passion or more energy within me to work for the wider and better paths ahead. So I'm coming for the new courses. Please bless me, and with your bless, I shall do things better. Sugan Janko, please bless me. Yeah, thank you so much, DDG. Thank you so much, Pandej Bhai, and all of you, all of the colleagues.
Thank you, Yifan. Thank you so much for being a part of this program. Now let me invite Ms. Nivedita Narendran. Yeah.
Namaste, this is Nivedita. I'm really happy to be a part of this journey because for me, this is a great experience from a start to till yesterday's lecture. It was really great. And learning Prakrit for me is something more. Like, I am really excited about old languages, and after learning Prakrit, I could understand how to say ordinary people's language instead of Sanskrit. So understanding that earlier period is really connected to language, I believe. So that's why I am really excited to learn Prakrit, and it was a great journey because you explained it very well. Like it was really easy for me to understand everything. because you connected it with linguistics. So instead of learning Sanskrit, like from sutras and all, this thing is pretty much easier compared to that method. So I like that method. Um, and Pragya ji, thank you so much. It was a really, I'm really happy to listen to you. Also, sir, um, thank you, sir, for your lecture. And Trisha ji, also, thank you so much. And I'm really happy to be a part of this lecture, to listen to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nivedita. Now I would like to go to Dr. Larissa. Please share your thoughts.
Oh, first of all, my cordial greetings to everyone, to all distinguished fellows and members of this course. I fell in love with Prakrit when I was attended just one lesson with legendary Professor Kamalchand Sogani. It was a few years ago in 2018 when I was participant of summer school, and till that time I have this curiosity in language. So what am I say as a person almost with no Indian linguistic background? So I dropped in to this course just knowing a Sanskrit alphabet. I received a relatively, not 100%, but relatively high scores after every test, because it was a fantastic clarity of explanation. It was a very well organized, and it was a high competence of every teacher. I think it was a genius idea to combine several teachers, not just one, but several with so good preparation, your own energy, your own charisma, and your own competence. Thank you so much. So right now, my knowledge about Jain heritage increased quite significantly. So thank you very much to all of you. It was a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Larissa. Glad to hear that. All right, now let's move to Ms. Malini Barbato. Would you like to share what you think?
So yes, also from me, thank you so very much for letting me participate here from Germany in the program. It was a really good experience, and I would like to emphasize what also the other said, that it was very well structured academically, so clear, and it was also, I really liked the passion of all the teachers. I really felt that there's so much kindness and interest in passing on that language to the students and also my fellow students. I found that also the discussion and the question section after the actual lectures, they were really fruitful, and I was quite impressed by some of the questions after the lectures. It was a really good learning experience for me because I have a long interest in Jainism, but I know Sanskrit for the more philosophical discussions that are going on in the later period. But I feel that really it's important to also know Prakrit, and I'm so happy that through this online course, I finally got the opportunity to start that journey, and it's certainly something that I will continue. So thank you so much to all of you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. It really is nice to hear that you would like to continue with learning Prakrit. And now I would like to move to the last participant, Professor Long. Please share your thoughts.
Thank you very much. I have thoroughly enjoyed this course. This is a wonderful course. I would recommend it to anyone who is interested in studying Prakrit. All of you as teachers were excellent. Very clear presentations, very kind and patient, and about answering every single question that students had. So I think it was a great course. I was not a very good student, I feel. I'm teaching 2 extra courses this semester. My schedule has been very, very full. I wanted to spend more time studying. My scores were not great on the exams. I hoped to get 100% and I did not. But that was entirely due to my own schedule. The course itself is a wonderful course. I do think that if someone does not have a prior background with Sanskrit, it might be very difficult. Because I know, I mean, because in fact, I'm teaching Sanskrit this semester as well. Here it's morning, I would participate in my Prakrit course, and then I would go and teach Sanskrit at Elizabethtown College. So knowing about the cases, knowing about declensions, conjugations, and so on, made that very comprehensible for me. I think it would be difficult for someone who did not have that background, or maybe some background with speaking a modern Indic language, which so many of our participants are native speakers of Bangla, Gujarati, Hindi, and so on. So that makes it easier. But it is a great course, and I'd like to repeat the experience in the coming course starting in March.
Wow, that's
Thank
great to hear. And we are honored to have you, truly.
Very
Okay.
kind of you, even though I'm a poor student. Thank you.
You are a good student. Anyway, now let's move on. I would like to move on to the next item on my list, and that's speech by the guest of honor. Our guest of honor today is Dr. Jaswant Modi. He is a retired medical practitioner by profession. He is a philanthropist. He is a member of Jena ALC, and he is an ardent follower of Jainism. Dr. Jaswant Modi, please share your thoughts.
Jai Jinendra, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am amazed with the enthusiasm of all the participants from the different part of the world in learning the basics of Prakrit. Prakrit is a language in existence for many millennia, and it's the language in which many, if not all, Jain scriptures are written. Our Tirthankars' sermons, 45 agams, and many other scriptures are written in Prakrit language. By learning this language, you will get a knowledge of wisdom. It will show you the path to the moksha and salvation for yourself and for the others surrounding you that you may inspire. I am glad to know that this introductory course will inspire you to dive deep into the learning further, as Srinath Pandey just said that there would be a 3-month online course, and we are also sponsoring a 9-month course for those who are interested in learning more and more and the deep, and the next year course will probably start somewhere around September, and we want to expand the number of the participants from 3 and 4 to many more if we can. Learning Prakrit will enrich and enlighten you. I am sure that this will enable you to light the path for others to walk. I wish all of you good luck. I and its leaders are here to help you, and we sincerely hope that you will come back to learn more about this language of our Tirthankars, about Jain Dharma, because by learning about Jain Dharma and a Jain way of life, you help climate change, you help your own health, and you also practice violence, you practice against the violence to all forms of the life. So I am glad that you took the time to learn the basics of this Prakrit language. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to participate in a different way in this course. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jaswant Modi. And now I would like to move to our chairperson's remark today. Dr. Abhay Firodia, who is our chairperson, he is the chairman of our ISJS. He is the chairman of many other various social and academic institutions. He is a DLIT from D.Y. Patil University, from TMV, and he is a constant admirer of studies in language, philosophy, and Jainism. Dr. Firodia, please share your thoughts.
Good evening. It is a pleasure and a privilege for me to be invited to say a few words. I have the intention not to speak so much about the Prakrit course that ISJS has so enthusiastically and so well conducted, nor about the language in particular, but about the background of the situation of the Prakrit language and the spiritual tradition of India. There is a strong view that the Indian culture, Indian spirituality, Indian religious tradition is based on what is called Veda Pramana, which means the whole thing revolves around the Vedas. What is in the Vedas is the spirituality of India. The Vedicists are liberal people, and they do say, yes, yes, but Vedas are not our full spirituality. It comes in Upanishads. So much, so good. But I believe that this is half the view. I do not subscribe to Veda Praman. I do subscribe to Veda Pranam. I don't know whether many of you appreciate the difference. Praman is the qualification. It is the standard by which you measure something. And I do not consider Indian spirituality to be based on Veda Praman, but I do wholeheartedly say that Veda Pranam is very important. What is Veda Pranam? Veda Pranam is to bow to the Vedas and the knowledge of the Vedas and the Upanishads. And this, I think, we unstintingly should do. But why do I raise this objection? I raise this objection because I feel that the entire tradition and history of India is being looked at in a faulty manner, in an inadequate perspective, in a very biased view. And how do I say that? If you look at Indian religions, which is, let us say, Hinduism, which is Sanatan Dharma, it is Jainism, it is Buddhism, it is Sikhism. All of these religions grew in India. Particularly, emphatically, most dramatically, Buddhism, which is a Shraman tradition, spread out of India, and I strongly believe it spread in many directions. It spread not only to Afghanistan, of which we have living evidence, but to Central Asia, and from thence into Tibet and China, and from there into Japan, and on the other hand, it went into East Asia. So the Shraman tradition spread almost all around India. What has happened to the Shraman tradition today, or even to the Hindu tradition today? The Muslim invaders who came in with swords drawn from Central Asia, destroyed the spiritual tradition of Iran, obliterating Zoroastrianism. They overpowered Afghanistan, they overpowered Central Asia, they plundered India. India was able to stop the total degradation of its tradition. Our tradition was grossly degraded, but not totally. On the other hand, in the Eastern world, Buddhism continues to thrive in China, in Japan, in Burma, in Thailand. So this tradition, I refuse to accept, was not the central tradition of India. The Shraman tradition, to my way of looking at it, was the central tradition of India till some 1400 years ago. And it was prevalent from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Kutch to Cuttack. All over India, Shraman tradition was very strong. How did this tradition end? Why did this tradition end? It ended mainly because the leadership of the Shraman tradition among the Buddhist monks was concentrated in a number of large universities with thousands of monks. These universities were defenseless. Takshashila, Vikramshila, Nalanda had 50,000, 30,000, 20,000 monks. And there were at least 50 other with smaller numbers. They were sitting ducks. Records show that the entire leadership was obliterated within a century or two. With the disappearance of the leadership of the Shraman tradition, which was mainly Buddhist, like in China, Buddhism died in India. This happened. Today, when we look back, we do not see that prevalence. And we do believe that it is the Vedic tradition which was the central tradition. I know I'm saying controversial things, but I want to back them with certain sequential historical information. And that is that, on the one hand, the Buddhist tradition disappeared, the Jain tradition continued, but in a smaller form, because the Jain monks were not concentrated at one place like the Buddhist monks were, or the Jain ascetics were spread all over India in villages and towns as exhorted by Mahavir. No army in the world, like the Americans found out in Vietnam and the Russians found out in Afghanistan, can obliterate the last freedom fighter. So Jainism managed to survive. What is the importance of all this and why do I say this? I'm saying this because the great learnings, the great spiritual values, the great teachings of the Shraman tradition are in Prakrit language. There are at least a few million people in India who understand and even speak Sanskrit. Sanskrit is not an extinct language. It has survived because of the strength of the Vedic society in India. And I am delighted that Sanskrit has survived. It's a great language. However, and I want to say another important thing from my point of view, which is again sequential. Sanskrit is in two levels, the Vedic Sanskrit and the modern Sanskrit. The Vedic Sanskrit is very close to Prakrit. It is not very close to modern Sanskrit. So it is logical, if you think out of the box, to say that Sanskrit that is spoken and understood and written and reveled in today was developed out of the Vedic Sanskrit, which was closer to Prakrit, or possibly was one of the Prakrits. What is the meaning of the word Sanskrit and what is the meaning of the word Prakrit? Prakrit is that thing, language, thought that is natural from Prakriti. What comes from Prakriti is Prakrit. What is Sanskrit? Sanskrit is that which is developed, evolved, improved, on which certain moderation has been done, certain improvement has been effected. That is Sanskrit. You say that a man is Susanskrit, it means that he is a gentlemanly person with proper values. So Sanskrit as a language is not an original language. It is a formatted, scientific, outstanding language, but it is created, artificially developed from the grammar that was built by grammarians. It is wrong to think that it is built only by Panini. Of course, Panini was a great grammarian, but Sanskrit was also built by a large number of Shraman and Prakrit grammarians who contributed immensely. This is recognized. The Shankaracharya of Kanchi told me himself that the Shramans in South India contributed greatly to the development of Sanskrit grammar. So there is a recognition where you have an open mind. What is the relevance of all I say to this Prakrit course? I don't think there is a direct connection, but there is certainly an important link. Prakrit is the language of ancient India, out of which evolved many other languages. Prakrit is a body of languages. The most powerful Prakrit upbranch or branch that lives today is Marathi. It's spoken by millions. A very rich language. Similarly, there are other languages which have evolved out of Prakrit. So Prakrit is a very central language. Why is this language important today, and why should we make an effort to learn and propagate it? And what are we doing to do that? So let me first say why we should propagate it. There is a body of literature in Prakrit, as you are very well aware, which is at least half of the body of literature in Sanskrit. If you take all the Greek and the Roman literature and put it on one side of a weighing scale, and you put just the Prakrit literature on the other side of the weighing scale, I'm not sure which side will be heavier. Surely Sanskrit is far more as a compendium in terms of the ancient literature than most of the European ancient and modern languages. But Prakrit is very much there, but it's inaccessible. Very few people speak, know, practice Prakrit. It is not interesting. It is difficult to get to. I'm delighted that such a wonderful group of people has taken the trouble to participate in this program, which to a great number of people might appear inane. It's boring. What the dickens are these people doing with Prakrit? The fact is, you are creating a possibility for others to be interested and to reach into Prakrit literature directly, which you can't do unless you start understanding Prakrit. What is being done to make the Prakrit literature accessible? You will be pleased to know that at the Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, our sister organization, Sanmati Tirth, has been making an effort for the last 35 years to create a Prakrit dictionary. This week, the 9th volume has been published. It has, among the all 9 volumes, it has 100,000 words and possibly something like 300,000 references from various books. I therefore feel that the availability of such a dictionary, which enables scholars in the West, the scholarship for such subjects in the West is nothing to sneeze at. They have done a lot of work, seminal work, and they can do much more provided the access is there. And that access has to be facilitated. So we are working on that. I do believe that the availability of this dictionary and also the popularity, increasing awareness about Prakrit's importance through courses like this will enable us to open a huge treasure house of literature on the spirituality of the Shramans, on the value system of India. And I will conclude by saying that the value system, the core of it, is common amongst the Sanatan Hindus, the Buddhists, and the Jains. And the Sikhs partake of the same. The point is, this value system is 95% common, 5% different. That value system is contributed to by Prakrit to a very great extent, because to my mind, Prakrit literature is prior to Upanishads. And the values in India of the Sanatan Dharma are not to be found in Vedas, but in the Upanishads. So therefore, logically, I believe there is a great deal of importance to reach into the Prakrit literature. My views may be controversial. My views may be unacceptable. Never mind. I have to express my view, and I strongly believe that you, dear audience, who have taken the trouble to try and, let me say, embrace, however briefly, Prakrit, have done a great thing to encourage a lot of people. And I do believe that over the next 25 years or 50 years, the awareness in India itself about the importance of Prakrit, its impact on regional languages, its impact on Sanskrit, and the richness of its resources, this will be much better known. So I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to express my thoughts and my views. I have to admit that unlike most of my friends in this particular meeting, I am not a scholar, I am not an intellectual, I am just an observer. And I am a student of my friend, Dr. Shugan Jain, who is inspiring so many wonderful things to be done. And he has pushed me into taking several steps, and he has helped me to take them. So I'm delighted that this program has been conducted. I want to wish all of you well, and I want to thank you for giving me a patient hearing. Whether you agree with me or not is not crucial. What is crucial is that you have heard what I have to say, and I know you will think about it. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Dr. Firodia. Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence, and we do value your thoughts and opinions. Thank you so much. Now I would move on to the valedictory speech by our chief guest, Professor Pramod Kumar Pandey. He is the Vice Chancellor of Deccan College, deemed to be University Pune. He is a professor of linguistics at JNU, and he's a scholar of English language and literature, and he's a lot many things. Let's hear it from Professor Pramod Pandey. So please unmute yourself.
Sir, we are not getting your voice.
कम से कम म्यूट को बंद करें. Can you unmute him? Dr. Pandey, can you unmute him? फोटो भी आ रहा है उनका. आइए.
हाँ सर.
Yeah.
लेकिन हमारी ओर से म्यूट है सर, अनम्यूट हैं आप.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, please.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Can I be heard? Excuse me.
Yes.
Yes, sir, please talk.
Okay. Unmuted myself. One second. Me now.
Yes, sir.
Heard? Am I audible?
Yes sir, you are audible.
Hello, Dr. Pandey.
Voice.
Unmuted. Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaskar.
आवाज आ रही है सर.
So thank you very much for having invited me to this. I have missed a lot. I wish I was also a participant here. I would like to express my respect for Sri Firodia ji, who has been so encouraging in giving and thank you, Dr. Jan sir, having brought me into this program. Some of the points that I may mention at the risk of being a little too late in this program. Prakrit, of course, has been there in the shall we say literary traditions, grammatical traditions of this, and to a large extent in the religious and philosophical traditions of India. Linguists have their own point of view with regard to how the Prakrit language somehow has not drawn the attention of the establishment, as we all know. Many languages which have come much later than Prakrit and Pali have been given the status of classical language. Prakrit deserves it not because of its linguistic structure only, but because of its use and its presence in a vast literature in various areas, especially in the middle period. See, when we compare the stability of Sanskrit to that of Prakrit and Pali, one of the things that come to mind is this very strong ritualistic tradition that has been at the basis of Sanskrit. So this oral tradition of continuing repeating text after text and in as precise a manner as possible, as was ordained by the Shikshas and Pratishakyas in Sanskrit, somehow strengthen the use of Sanskrit, especially for ritual purposes. So in Sanskrit has continued from the time of classical Sanskrit, that is the one which was described by the great linguist grammarian Panini, that somehow has continued. And obviously, Prakrits, when we say Prakrits, we know, Prakrit scholars know that there are so many of them which have found mention in the literature. And so all of them have existed, but there has also been a great deal of variation. All of us know actually that languages are subject to variation. See, every few kilometers we know that languages change, they vary. The problem with why Prakrit, a standard Prakrit was not so popular, although it was several attempts were made to codify it. For example, by M. Chandra, who described the Gujarati, the varieties spoken in the western part of India, better known as Maharashtri Prakrit, is this that actually the writing system in India was very poor. That is, the scripts. We all know that Devanagari actually came to be formalized in the form we see today around 7th century, 8th century AD. This was mostly left to people who were interested in epigraphy and engravings on the stone. But writing as such, was not so productively used all over the country. And so the problem is that there were so many different varieties of Prakrit. And then the issue of the social status of the language that people have talked about, the literature, for example, the plays that we are all aware of, do talk about the use of Prakrit, for example, by characters who are not so high in society, and Sanskrit having been sort of restricted to higher society. The social prestige that was attached to Prakrit also somehow affected its spread and use and codification. So writing system not having been there so strongly in the Middle Ages was one reason, and there having not been a very strong Prakrit standard. The grammarians have talked about three main Prakrit varieties: the Shauraseni variety, the Magadhi variety, and the Maharashtri variety. Now, when we look at all these different types of Prakrits, there's slight difference. Maharashtri variety came with a lot of vowels. Even today, for example, in Marathi, you'll say things like kashta, things like that. So words continue, to end in vowels. Whereas in the Sauraseni variety and Magadhi, there were a lot of these consonant clusters, multiple consonant clusters were allowed. And so Vishwanath is not wrong when he says that Maharashtri variety was to be used in poetry, and that the Shauraseni variety should have been used only in the prose, not because there is anything special about this, but the very linguistic structure itself. For example, why is it that in classical music, Hindustani classical music, people still use the verses which are close to, say, Awadhi and other languages, say Kaharava, because of this kind of structure, which was found very especially in the Maharashtra. So Vishwanath is right that way. Another fact that has to be taken into account by people who deal with the Prakrit language is that when compared to Sanskrit, certainly its structure is simplified. For example, there are many sounds which were there in Sanskrit. So we say sa, sha, sha, and then in Panini's Sanskrit, we also have two ha's. One is the Visarga type ha, and the other is ha, and so on. And then ma, na, nya, na, ma. Now, so Prakrit came to have reduced sounds among these, ma and ra. And then you have sa and and ra, la, va, ya, etc. So there was a kind of simplification in the Prakrit language, also because it was the language of common use, and so everyday use, as we are told. So the simplified part and the variation in so many Prakrits and lack of a standard form probably had to do with why Prakrit somehow did not come to have the kind of stability and status it should have had. We know that standardization is a very socio-political, economic, commercial thing. London variety came to be popular because London was the capital of England. Otherwise, there was no special reason why the London variety should have been standard. Similarly, today, the Delhi Western Hindi variety is more standard rather than, let's say, Rajasthani or Bihari or Punjabi or whatever it is, simply because Delhi is the capital. So with Prakrit, that these socio-linguistic conditions, the linguistic structure itself, and the use, for example, of Prakrit probably has had its effect on why Prakrit has been Prakrit and even Pali have not gained the respect they should have had. When it comes to looking at the spread, this Prakrit was spread all over India, as we are told, also outside India, Cambodia, Java, and today Sri Lanka. So the study of Prakrit, however, must be resuscitated, and it's a very noble effort on the part of the Institute of Gen Studies that a course in Prakrit and courses in Pali and Prakrit are being conducted. And the significance and importance of this effort and this noble effort is that we do not yet have a full record of all the Prakrit texts. We do have this, we know that there are some of them, but have we gone to Cambodia to see if there are some Prakrit texts lying there, or have we gone to Sri Lanka to look for Prakrit texts? Because there is a general neglect of work on Prakrit, so it has not come to the center of research on classical languages. Only when there are enough number of people who are well trained in Prakrit and who have a command and knowledge of Prakrit will be better, able to carry out researches. We never know what kinds of what pearls of wisdom lie, what texts are there still not discovered. So this is, to me, it's an extremely important effort. One and that courses on Prakrit and Pali are being offered. I'm very sure that even if there's 1% of its impact on the researcher, that is 1 of 100 researcher feels motivated and goes to look for, search for texts in Prakrit, we may be able to come up with some very important texts from the point of view of Indian philosophy, Indian religion, and general Indian intellectual tradition. I should stop here. I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers, and I would very humbly like to apologize to all of you, sirs, that although I have been sitting here since about 7 o'clock, somehow I have a new computer, unfortunately, so that was no problem. So please forgive me for having been late, but it's a great privilege and pleasure for me to have joined you. I do hope to connect with you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Pandey, for being patient and sharing your deep understanding of Prakrit. And despite the technical glitch, we were able to receive his message. Thank you so much. And now I would like to move on to our president, Dr. Shugan Sanjain. He is the president ISJS. He is the member of various academic institutions. You know him very well. So Shuganji, please share your thoughts.
Thank you very much, Pragya. You know, I have the job of thanking all of you. So I will start serially rather than the traditional manner that thank on the dais type of people. First of all, I thank all of you, the participants who have attended this program, because you are the cause for which this program was designed. And when I was listening to you, I felt very honored that senior people like Professor Jeffrey Long, Melanie, Larissa from Ukraine, and professors from India, that they are attending this program also. So this, you know, this supports our thinking that, like, when we started ISJS, we started with promoting Jain studies primarily. And now in the second phase, we are taking the language, because unless we know the language, you cannot understand fully what is there in the doctrine, the culture, etc. So I thank all of you. And as they say, proof of the pudding is in the eating. You have started learning program, Prakrit. I wish some of you join our other 3-month program and maybe the 9-month program, so that your interest continues in this language. And here I just recite a statement, an advice by Bhagwan Mahavir, in which he says, Chalman Chaliye. This is a Prakrit thing, Chalman Chaliye, which says the one who has taken the first step has in fact started walking. So you have taken the first step of attending this course, and I hope you continue your quest for learning Prakrit a lot more. And Jeffrey, I am very thankful to you for your comment about Sanskrit. This is, you know, at the heart of my thing, because if I had my way, I would have started that way. And my guru, Professor Sugani, he has developed an excellent program on that basis. I think he hates Sanskrit, so he said, why should I teach Prakrit in Sanskrit? And I will try that we will have next one of the programs on that basis, so that you don't need to know Sanskrit. You start with Prakrit, and he starts with Prakrit. Like, you know, we learned that when I went to Germany or other places, Holland and Saudi Arabia, I learned the languages. So they don't teach me in English, they start in their own language and in a talking manner, so that you start talking. So I have taken note of that, and I think we will try to take care of that. Thank you. And such comments, if others have it, please do share, because we value your feedback. So my heartfelt thanks for all of you, to participants who spent time to attend this program. Now I move to the galaxies of the visitors. First of all, I thank the hidden personality here, Professor T.N. Sharma from University of Gujarat. He had been one of the founding, you know, colleagues or guides for this program. And it is because of him that most of our programs in language and the Jain studies have been recognized and associated with University of Gujarat. So Dr. Sharma, thank you very much. Then I have Professor Crystal Chappell also in the audience. Chris, I don't have to thank you. You are like us, a part of ISJS, and you had been a really source of, you know, encouragement. In fact, ISJS is you. That's all I can say. So thank you for joining on this occasion. And you can see how the seed that you have, you know, sown is growing in different areas. Now I come to some of the leading people who spoke in this thing. You know, Dr. Modi, he is a fountainhead of promoting this program. Besides offering money, all the money which goes in our 9-month program, he is a big encourager encouragement. He said, why don't you develop a small online Prakrit English dictionary? And so on. So at every platform he promotes. First he was promoting Jain studies. Now, like us, he's also promoting Prakrit language. So Jaswant Bhai, Dr. Modi, thank you very much for your encouragement as always. Then Dr. Firodia, chairman of ISJS. I feel it's an honor to have a person like him sitting as chairman of Bodhi, the most prestigious institution of research in Indology in India. And you can see the way he was talking today, and the amount of effort he is putting in creating the world's finest museum on Jainism in Pune. It will be a pleasure, and I think most of you, when you come there, you will spend weeks there to see about Jain philosophy, culture, and etc. I think he has done a lot of job for us for this program by indicating the importance of Prakriti. My own perception is, if you want to know the culture of a country or a civilization, you must know the spoken language, the language that the commoners use, because it is through that language you know what's going on. If you take the language of the literature like Sanskrit, then this is the interpretation of those by the scholars. So there, the impact of translators comes a lot. Like you see any Indian, play or other, stories, you will always find a class of people speaking in Sanskrit, but the bulk of the people are talking in Prakrit. So besides learning, the Jain philosophy or the Buddhist philosophy, you will be very happy when you learn this language to know the culture of the country and how this language progresses. Every 30, 20 kilometers you move, you see some variations. So I think it's a very good way to learn this. It's very important to learn this, to know the culture and philosophy of a country. And I am I feel very, very blessed to have been a devotee of Mahavir, who chose the language of Prakrit to share his views in the language of the commoners. So friends, I think this has been a very good program, and it's my honor to welcome you all. I hope you come back again. Like, I would say 20% of the participants are repeat participants to our ISJS programs, which shows how deeply, you people get associated. And for this, I'm grateful to Dr. Pandey, Dr. Ashok Jain, Pratya, and others at ISJS, who put their heart and effort in making sure that the program is successful and you go back with what you wanted to achieve from the program. So thank you all very much. Good night.
Thank you so much, Shuganji. So everyone, thank you so much. Bid adieu. See you soon, and let's live Prakrit till then.
So thank you. And in chat box, I saw some message regarding the last date for our 3 months Prakrit program. So friends, we will inform you through our newsletters, and you will get it on our website, I hope by the 25th of this month. And properly, we will announce in the inaugural session of our online winter program on 28th December. So thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sugan sir, for your blessings, for your inspirations. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pragya ji. Thank you.